And I think the GAA thought this would have gone away by now. I think they thought we'll get through 2-3 rounds of the league, people will get tired of it, they'll get fed up of it, and the protest will slowly dwindle. And you can see, slowly drip feeding the Allianz board back in behind post-match interviews, and that's starting to happen now. So that, I think that was the process that they thought would happen, that this would quietly go away.
There's such a strong feeling, I think, about the, obviously number one, Gaza, the whole Palestinian issue, and then obviously this is a serious issue which has sort of brought it home to us, isn't it?
As we said at the time, it would be credit to the people that have kept, because you've seen the protests at matches, they're quite small in number in terms of the people actually protesting, but what they have is the support of the large majority of the GAA public, and they just have to find a way to sort of keep it to the forefront and try and draw some sort of not a solution, some sort of an answer from the GAA. And ultimately the GAA caused what happened on Saturday by not having a discussion on the floor. Firstly, it was opened up. There was a possibility or an opportunity for delegates to do that on Friday night, and that was really disappointing that nobody in the hall spoke about it. And had that conversation got up on Friday night, maybe what happens on Saturday never happens. But ruling the motions from counties out of order and not allowing them to be held on the floor and saying we've gone through your process in terms of dealing this, they misjudged the mood, they misjudged the temperature of it, and that led to what happened in Congress on Saturday.